as we discussed that your course is about Introduction to Cloud Computing. We have to think that in that case, what are the things that we will be able to learn about the cloud in this module. As you can see that this course or this module name is Introduction to Cloud Computing. It means that this module is linked with the cloud computing at introductory level. But from this level, what we will be able to learn and how we will be able to learn, what will be the procedure of learning, and where we will be at the end of the day if we will compare ourselves with respect to the skills. I believe that nowadays everybody knows about the cloud. Everybody is aware what is cloud, what is cloud computing, or at least about the cloud. Everyone is using about these several clouds in the form of the several services. Like we are using Google Drives, we are using Dropbox, we are using Amazon, and we are using so many other things. They are actually cloud. But in reality, everybody may be having a concept of what is a cloud computing, but they are not knowing in depth and detail that actually what they are, where they are, how they are structured, how they placed, how they planned, how they work, when they work, and what type of the services they are providing, what type of the clouds they are, what type of the operations we can do with the clouds, and for what type of the operations cloud is extending these services to the corporate sector and to the individuals as well, and how the clouds structure are, how cloud migration can be possible, what is the concept about the VM or what we call the virtual machines, what is the role for those virtual machines, why we are using, where we are using, when we are using, how we are using, and how we are able to classify our clouds. We can say these are the private cloud, public cloud, and in this way, hybrid cloud. And there are so many different aspects of the cloud. Why we are grouping them, why we are coming with the different types of the clouds, why we are saying that this is the mobile cloud, why we are saying this is the not mobile cloud, but this is the conventional or the normal cloud. So there are a lot of concepts and terminologies from its planning, designing, structure, working to its services and functions are there. But most of us, we are not aware about that. We are only aware what is cloud. We are only aware that cloud is something where we can keep our data. But cloud is more than this. Cloud is not only the Google Drive. Cloud is not only the Dropbox. Cloud is not only the Amazon cloud. Our cloud is not anything what we have perception about it. But in other words, we can say that it is a huge world inside it. And nowadays, fast execution is also possible because of the clouds. Big data concepts are also possible because of the clouds. And so many critical operations are also possible because of the cloud. What it means? So you just think for a moment, and then you will realize. If you just go back 1 decade back, a little more, you will find at that time the data belongs to only corporate sectors, companies, and government, and huge organizations. But data was not owned on an individual basis, by individual person, by you, by me, or by anyone else. Number one. Number two, at that time, the data was there, but there was no or almost no duplication of the data. So if we go back, we can see that most of the organizations, they used to store their data on different hard drives and their different servers and different tapes and using different resources. And that storage cost was very much high to them. That's why they not try to keep any duplication of the data. And keep in mind that at that time, they were only able to keep their data, to store their data, to keep their backups. And that time was a challenging time in case if suppose your machine is going to be lost because of any reason for the individual persons and for small organizations, then it means all of the data is lost. That was the hard time, not the time like now. Now, in our machines, almost intentionally or unintentionally, more than 70%, or in some cases 100%, or in some rare cases 50% of our data is always stored in the cloud. In case if suppose our machine is lost or something has happened, there will be not a big issue what the issue was faced earlier, 1 decade earlier, a little earlier. So our data is stored now on the clouds and we can take it back. By default, backups are there. But as we discussed that earlier, the data was owned by only the organizations, government sectors, but not now. Now the data is owned by each individual. If we just think for a moment, each one out of us, how much data we hold. Probably our data is in GBs, or even more in some of the cases. This is not for organization, not for offices, not for the corporate sector, but this is for the individual person. How? Say, for example, we are using social networks, WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so many different things. We are uploading without even thinking how much size of the pictures, videos, and other sharings. We are keep continuing it. So where it is stored? It is stored in the cloud. So you might notice that nowadays The one challenge to us is the amount of the data to be stored. Every individual has a lot of data to store on the cloud. So if we just see in a larger scale, then when we can realize that the technological world is changed in terms of the storage now. The other challenge which we are still facing, that is the duplication of data, which was not as serious 1 decade before. Sometimes we are receiving a video, someone is forwarding to the groups, and say for example in the WhatsApp, and then it's keep continuing for the months. This is keep continuing forwarding. Then it's going to be shared with the other social networks. Now you just imagine how much duplication of the same related data is there. Who is responsible for this as an individual user? But for this whole exercise, for this whole practice, for sure, we need to have that much amount of the data, of the space to be stored these all of the informations. Because in case if suppose we don't, we cannot store them because we don't have a space. So why I'm telling you this point, that you need to understand that what is the power of the cloud. We didn't started anything about the cloud, but from this, at least you will be knowing that what is the actual power of cloud and how much it's important and essential component in our daily life as well. Nowadays, in the technology, we cannot live without the presence of the cloud, because each individual, any organization, either it's small or either it's giant, any government, any financial sector, any sector, they require cloud, but not only for the storage purpose. That's what we were doing earlier, 1 decade before. Now we can even do the rest of the operations with the cloud. We use the cloud not only for storage, but we use the cloud nowadays for execution of the task. We run the cloud for execution of the task with the help of the different tools. We do huge operations on the clouds as well. So this is a revolution if we compare it with our past, where we have to have the different sort of the medium or media where we can only store the data, but we cannot go for the execution. Now here, we can execute different operations. We can store the data on the cloud, as well as we can provide the different sort of the services to the users, as well as we can sell or share a limited desired amount of the space of the cloud with the clients based on their requirement. So this is what we call the customized sharing. Now we have everything with the cloud. So the technological world has a huge change after the cloud concept came to us. Now, in this module, we will discuss about these things what we are discussing, cloud and cloud types, how they are laying down, how they operate, what are the virtual machines, how they work, and so many interesting things. That's what we just discussed. So we are just trying to give you an overview about your module, that what you may expect to learn from this one. It's a very interesting and very knowledgeable module, which will open your minds and you will start thinking in different directions about the world of the clouds, which we name normally as a cloud computing. So this covers mobile cloud computing, local or conventional cloud computing, fog computing, and there are so many things. At this stage, we may not refer to so many terminologies, but we will. So these things are simple and very powerful as well. And I hope that you will enjoy your module about the cloud computing. So now, before we start, we just have the basic intro. I noticed that from the list of the students, the few of the students, they are either in other modules with me during this semester, either the mobile application development or in the secured software system as well. But few are the new, but I didn't saw any student to whom I already taught maybe, or maybe the few. Kazi is there. Yes, that's great. So here we just go for a quick intro. My name is Dr. Noor Zaman, and I'm the associate professor. My office location is C909. We hope that we will have physical sessions soon. So if suppose you wish to see me for any of your query, you can be able to see me on C909 after having the appointment using the email what it is mentioned here, or using the Teams, Microsoft Teams that what we are using, or you can use your Times as well, the chat group for the Times as well. So here you can see the few of the books. These are the few of books which are written by me, and these are very few. Now I believe maybe more than 17 or 15. But why I'm sharing here? I'm sharing here not to show you that I have the books, but I'm sharing here to realize your power, to realize your strength. What I mean that you as an student are more young than your instructors. You have more energy, you have more good memory, you have more capabilities. You can do more wonders than your instructors. Trust me. Don't underestimate your skills and your savvy. This is the message to show you this slide. Because if your instructor can do, he can or she can go up to this level, then you can do 5 times more. So you need to realize and know your capabilities, know your strength, that who you are. And our support as an instructor will be always with you whenever you require. So going ahead, now before we start, we need to see that what actually we are expecting from you as a student, as an instructor, what I may expect from you. I expect from you a few things which will actually help you to get all the concepts done in time, and you can get the maximum benefit from it. So the most important point is your regular participation, your timely participation. Try to be available for the class 5 minutes before. Like you notice the few minutes, 3-4 minutes we started late because the number of students was less and this was the first class. So we were trying to wait as they can also join. So this is not appreciable. The appreciable is that we try to manage our time and we can join the session 5 minutes before. Those who join 5 minutes before, appreciate it. So we all need to follow to our friends who did like that. Now, you need to participate actively for assignments, for tutorials, for your class lectures, and also don't try to keep yourself only that what we are discussing here, or only what is available in your reference books. Imagine the world of IT is changing very fast. So if we will not be updated with the time, then it means we are far. So what I mean that you try to give the time to the extra studies, which is what are the online resources, what are the current things, what is happening in the cloud deployment, what are the different cloud models, what are the cloud security issues, what are the cloud benefits, and there are so many things. So we will discuss with time to time, but we will try to get the very first-hand information, latest information, because this is not only for this module, for any of your module, because you are computer science student, you need to keep yourself updated. That is the most important point. And the discipline and punctuality is highly important. I know that you all are very good students and you will make yourself proud, and also you will make your instructor proud as well. So these are the only instructions that what we are just discussing at our first session. Now make a better use of the resources which will be available to the times. I will try to keep uploading the different resources. Even your class notes, they are ready, but I'm always trying to update them with the latest information and then uploading them. So you will find the information, it is always updated. And again, I can suggest you that you also try to use the online resources and latest informations about your subject area, about your domain area. Okay, so we should be in the same page. We should be able to compete with the world, not only with our class or within our university. Try to solve the extra points, the extra questions, the extra concepts, whatever we give you, provide you in the tutorials. I may mention here, your tutorial session will be handled by our PhD scholar. His name is Naveed Ali Khan. He will be taking your tutorial sessions, while your theory sessions will be with me. But in case if suppose you face any kind of issue, or if suppose you have any suggestion, feel free to let me know at any time. Feel this is your own class. Okay, enjoy your class and keep the motive to learn as much as possible to get the maximum benefit. And you will find me always helpful and very supportive at your back. So I will always at your back to extend my entire support. My goal is that how you can be able to get the maximum benefit. Now, your theory classes will be online or as per the instructions what we have at this stage till today. But for your lab and tutorial classes. So in your cloud computing class, we don't have any lab sessions, but we have tutorial sessions. So the tutorial sessions, 50% of the tutorial sessions will be face-to-face as well as online. As well as online for those who will not be available around for face-to-face. So the mode of lecture will be dual at the same time, face-to-face and online for 50% of the lectures. And the rest of the 50% lecture will be fully online. So that will be optional for you. Whoever wish to come for those lectures, they can. The schedule for face-to-face lectures, that in which week will be, that will be shared with you soon by the tutor, or maybe myself. I will share and upload it on the times so you can know that when it will be face-to-face. Going ahead, as we discuss that discipline is highly important. Discipline, what it means, that we have to discipline ourselves to do our assignments, to do our tasks, to be in time in the class. Okay, these all things will give the benefits to you. When you form the groups for your assignment, you can form the group members from 3 to 4. The file you already can notice that it is available on the Times. This is the link shared with you for the Google Drive on the cloud. The name for that file is group formation. So you can log into that sheet and then you can form the group. The group structures are already designed and available there. Group numbers are already there. You can discuss among yourself and see to whom you feel more comfortable, to whom you can work together, to whom you can have better access. So you can form your groups based on your own choice. And then please pop up that information, key in that information in the Excel sheet, what it is provided at the Times from today to the next week. So this first week, you will be able to decide and discuss, and you can key in your names. And keep remember that those groups will remain same for any type of the presentation, for any type of the assignment throughout this semester. So I hope that you will be done with this one. So while you are selecting your groups, be wise and be careful and be motivated as well. Work together, become a strength for each other. In case if suppose 1 or 2% are not working in a group, that will actually affect the result for overall group. In case if everybody individually is working good, that will also affect the overall result of the group. So that's why I don't want to impose the group's members on you, but I'm giving you opportunity so you can decide by your own, choose by your own friends based on your own choice and key in the names in the groups. So in case if suppose anyone can find any person who is not cooperating, not working for any of the assignment, please don't wait until the end of the day, but please update me, discuss me with full confidence at any time. Okay, our motive is that you all get it done and you can get the maximum benefit from it. Now, when we go ahead, so we can see that the next is my office location. That's what we already discussed. It is C909. You can contact me, as we already discussed, through email or through your Microsoft Teams. You can also use your Times. You can communicate using any channel. Resources are available. Reference material will be available at the Times, but don't rely on them. As we discussed, that you can go beyond them for the latest and recent informations. That will be always welcome. Now, the reference which is given here, that is the reference book about the cloud computing. And you can see that this is almost 5 years back, but this is the procedures. We cannot change it quickly because we have to follow the proper procedure, and then we will be only able to change it. So because of your area, that's why I told you that you can use the recent and the latest research, latest contents, whatever are available. So we are not supposed to limit ourselves for the resources what they are mentioned here, either the main references or either the additional resources or references. Now, as we discussed it, what you will be able to learn from this module, because today we are trying to have an overview about the module. We can see that this module is how it's different from the others, what will be the learning outcomes, and how we will be able to achieve them, what concepts and what things and what theories we are supposed to learn at the end of the day. So you can find here that we will be discussing about introduction to cloud computing. First of all, we try to see that what it is the cloud computing, how they are laying on the grounds, means their installations, how they looks like, what are the mechanisms. It's very interesting. How and what are the different cloud deployment models, what type of the services clouds are providing, and what are the cloud services and different type of the platforms, how an individual or an organization, they can select the type of the cloud or the service of cloud or anything related to the cloud best fit for them. A lot of different things. That's what we just discussed a couple of minutes before. These all are the things we will be learning in the introduction to cloud computing class. Now, most importantly, how the core module or course will be delivered. The delivery of this module will be, as we discussed, there is no lab, but there is the lecture and there is the tutorial class. So lecture will be 1.5 hours per week. That will be handled by me. We will be together. And the tutorial will be 2.0 hours per week. That will be handled by our PhD scholar, Naveed Ali Khan. And time to time, I will be there as well. So this is how the mode of delivery for this module will be there. Tutorial for this week, there will be no tutorial for the first week. Your tutorial will start from the next week. And your tutorial will be, there will be no tutorial in your last 14 week. So first and last week, no tutorial, but in between the remaining 12 weeks, there will be regular tutorial classes. So now, after knowing this, we are trying to know, which is the most important part for us, that is about the assessment. How assessment will be for this module. So assessment, I believe it is the most simple assessment for this module, because maybe it is after the it is introduction to cloud computing. So it means it is the level of courses introduction, but it will not be only introduction. We will try to cover the good things in it as well. And you can see the assessment is very straight and very simple. So you can find the information from here. The final exam will be 50%. That will be after week number 40. How final exam will be, we are not sure at this stage. That either it will be in the same pattern like what we did for the previous semester, maybe it will be in a regular mode like what we used to have a practice earlier. So this depends on the COVID situation. So probably you will be knowing, means in between, that what will be the mode of the final exam. Now, the next thing is about your assignment. That assignment will be your group. So you can form the group that will be based on 3 to 4 members. The group formation list is already available on the times. So after this class, you have 1 week. You can discuss among yourself and then you can form your groups. This will be an assignment, and that assignment will be 25%. And the rest of the 25% will be your one test. That test will be for 25%, and the test will be conducted in week number 9. We are in week number 1, so you can find out these details from the weekly plan, what is available at the times. So in week number 9, there will be the test, and in week number 12 or 13, there will be assignment presentation. In 12 will be the submission of assignment, and in week number 13 will be the presentation of your assignment. And your final exam will be after 14 week. So this is all about the assessment. And for this assessment, it means that you are required to finish the assessment in group. It is only the one which is for 25%. And the test will be on an individual basis, and the final exam will be on individual basis as well. Now, we are just trying to have a quick view that what we will cover in each of the week. Like in week number 1, where we are today, we are discussing about to know the course flow and the course requirements, detail about the course. So we already discussed about that. In week number 2, we will discuss about introduction on the module and what is the cloud drivers, cloud adoption, and other concepts related to that one. Then in the next week, we will be discussing about laying the groundwork, how it is being placed, and what are the inside technicalities. Then in the next week, we will discuss about the cloud deployment models. That will be the first part. And what it means by the first part, it means that in upcoming next week, we will also discuss about the cloud deployment models, because the cloud deployment models has the different types, and then we will discuss about each type in detail, and then also we will try to differentiate among them that how they are different from each other. Then in the next week, we will discuss about cloud service models. So you notice the previous week, we are discussing about the cloud deployment model. And then we will be discussing about cloud service model. So the cloud service models are also different, more than one. Then we will see that how they are, what are the differences, and which model is for which purpose, and the other related details to those models. Then in the next week, we will discuss about the cloud services plus the platforms, different platforms. So this will be the extension of our discussion that what we will discuss in week number 7. Then in week number 9, there is the cloud selection. What type of cloud, how we can select. And in this week number 9, you will have test as well. So in case of test, maybe this lecture will be either before or either later on. Now, week number 10, we will have discussion about cloud security. And then in week number 11, we will have the operating cloud, how we can operate the cloud. Not only knowing about the theoretical details, but we will try to give attach that how we can be able to operate the cloud as well. Then in next week, we will discuss about the 4Ds migration methodology. What it means by the migration, how we can do the migration from one cloud to another cloud, what will be the procedure, what are the benefits, why it's required, when it's necessary, and so many other technical things and details we will discuss in this week. The next week, which is the week number 13, now here your assignment presentation will be there. Your assignment submission will be in week number 12, and you will be able to receive that what contents of the assignment will be. That will be in the next, by the end of the next week, or maximum next to next week. So you will be receiving your assignment almost 8 or 9 weeks before your submission. You will have a good amount of time. You can plan it well as you can get it done in a more appropriate way. Now then the week number 14, we will have only the module revisions and exam guidelines and nothing new concept in week number in the last week. So that's all about the plan of our module, that how we will be taking it and how and when we will be reaching it. So now I can open for you. I can show you, try to show you the weekly breakdown as well, so you can get an idea that what are the actually tutorials that what we will be discussing as well for this one. So I hope that you are able to see my screen. Maybe I need to share this screen again. Okay, we can. Just give me 1 minute. So here we go. Need to go back again. Here we are, and here we are. I hope you are able to see the screen. So this is your weekly timeline, what we will follow. For the theory part, we already discussed. So you can see here in week number 1, what we are discussing, we are here. And in week number 1, there is no tutorial. Then we are going to the week number 2, and then we are discussing about the introduction on the module, introduction to the cloud computing, definitions of the cloud computing, and so on. So we just try to enlist the a little bit more information, and related to that material you will be able to see from the times. And now from week number 2, you can see that your tutorials are starting. So the good thing about this, that you will find in the tutorial, they will be linked or related to the lecture that what we will be discussing. So in the lecture what we are discussing, in the tutorial you will be having further studies about that to reinforce your concepts, to reinforce your ideas what you had learned during the theory class, to get more information and to make it concrete in your mind. That is why the tutorials are there. So in the same pattern, you can see in week number 3, these are the tutorials about the authentication and hypervisors. So these are the hypervisors for related to the virtual machines that what we will discuss. Then you can see for the next week, it is for the cloud deployment models tutorial, because we will be discussing about the same things in our theoretical class. So in this way, you will be able to find out the details for the same. Now, if we just go to the next, again, to the other weeks, we will be able to find out the details in our tutorial classes in the same pattern that what we are actually discussing in the theoretical classes. So tutorials are there to enforce us our knowledge and our understanding and our learning, what we are trying to learn from our theory class. So they are very much interlinked with each other and very much meaningful and helpful as well. So this is how we will be taking to the end of the module. You can find out here that we will be reaching, and here you can see in week number 9 there will be your test that what we already explained to you, and in the same pattern you can find that in week number 12 there will be the assignment submission. So the assignment submission date will be in line with your theory class, and then in week number 13 there will be assignment presentation, and in week number 13 there will be no tutorial, but there will be the sort of the presentations and revisions only. Then in week number 14 will be only overview, exam guidelines, and also the kind of the revision that what we have learned. In case of suppose you have any concerns or queries or questions, so they will be addressed related to the whole or entire module. And then in the week number 14, there will be no any tutorial class. So this is how our module, we will take it up to the end. And I hope that you will learn the core concepts and the things that what we referred here. And now in case you suppose you have any concern or question, please let me know. If you don't have any question, then we will go for your attendance. So please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so if you don't have a question, then I will just stop the recording and then we will go for our attendance. Thank you very much. So here we go. I hope you understand the concepts.